This is the City of Southfield regular meeting of the Planning Commission, October 27th, 2021. It's conducted via WebEx teleconference. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Culpepper.
Here.
Mr. Griffiths.
Here.
Mr. Huntington.
Present.
Mr. Martin.
Present.
I don't see Miss Mia. However, I will call her name. Miss Mia is not available this evening. Dr. Stevens-Gunn.
Here.
And Mr. Willis.
Here.
And Mr. Martin, did I miss you?
Oh, did you hear me?
I can. Okay. All right, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum to conduct business this evening.
Thank you. Looking for a motion on the agenda.
To the chair, this is Commissioner Culpepper.
Yes.
I move that we approve the agenda as written.
This is Commissioner Willis, support.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the agenda by Commissioner Culpepper, supported by Commissioner Willis. May we have the roll call vote on that, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Culpepper.
Yes.
Mr. Huntington.
Support.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Dr. Stevens-Gunn.
Yes.
Mr. Willis.
Yes.
And Mr. Griffiths.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you have an approval of your agenda this evening.
Do we have any announcements or communications?
There are none at this time, sir.
Okay. And as far as public hearings, there are none tonight, correct?
Correct. I mean, while your first item is noted under the public hearing section, if you recall, we did hold a public hearing on this item on September 22nd with no public making any comments at that time. So a public hearing on this item, we've already had it, so there's no need to have one this evening. However, we should still discuss the item because the Planning Commission still does have to provide a recommendation.
Okay. So this is PSLU 21-0008. There was questions about the access easements and which parking belonged to who, and
right, correct.
Things to
So
that
if
effect.
I may, Mr. Chairman, I'll just run through the presentation for the pleasure of the public who might be listening or watching this evening. So again, as I had noted, PSLU 21-0008. This was an item that was postponed from your September 22nd regular meeting to this evening. As I had noted, a public hearing had already been held on September 22nd. The petitioner owner is Abraham Southfield Commons for the property located 29267 Southfield Road, civil parcel 241147960, west side of Southfield Road, just north of 12 Mile. Existing zoning is B1 neighborhood business, and the request was to allow a tenant space to be used as a restaurant and a bar. This is the close-up of the existing property. Specifically, the tenant space is right here on the end toward the back of the existing property. It was and has been a restaurant in the past. And a couple of those restaurants have had bars in them. However, we could not find any evidence that they ever went through a special land use to allow the bar. So thus, we needed to go through this process to allow for the bar through the special land use. Again, as I noted, property is zone B1. There is a little section of B2 as well on the property. And the property for future land use is part of the North Southfield sub-area. The copy of the site plan for the project, and you can see the property here with the hashes around it. This is the tenant space for which the special land use is being proposed. And this is a colorized version of that showing landscaping. There are pedestrian connections, bike racks, and so on. Floor plan. Elevations, which include actually some overhead or garage type doors that could be opened up during the time of year that would allow for that, spring, summer, possibly fall as well. And with that, as you had noted, Mr. Chairman, one of the items that came out of the September meeting that was clarified actually at your October 13th meeting a couple of weeks ago, City Planner Crode had noted that we did find easement for parking, access, and cross-access agreements as well for the three properties that are actually kind of conjoined here. The existing property along Southfield Road, there's a second one-story building along the south side of the property, and then the L-shaped directly in the back. So again, we did find those particular easements within some past site plan files. So that did satisfy at least our need for cross-access amongst these three properties already. With that, I do know that Mr. Nathan Harvey and Mr. Thomas Morris are on the line this evening. Gentlemen, if you have anything else to add, now would be your opportunity to do that.
Looks like you're still on mute there. I see you trying to talk, Nathan.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jeff. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Another set of plans has been submitted, which includes additional landscaping that was discovered on the site by the city's landscape plan reviewer. And she requested a few more items, which I put on the plan and resubmitted to Southfield, about a week or two ago, right after the study meeting. Other than that, I believe we actually do have enough parking, which was a slight issue originally, because all these sites have one owner and any given site can use any of the parking involved.
Yeah, if I may through the chair, just to reiterate that, because all these properties all operate kind of as one, there is more than enough parking on site for all the uses. There was also, if I recall, a zoning board of appeals waiver for additional parking spaces. So there's more than enough parking spaces to satisfy the needs for all three of these buildings amongst these three properties.
I'm Thomas Morris. I represent the landlord, Abraham Southfield Commons LLC, and we support the proposal and are looking forward to this restaurant opening in the shopping center. I'm willing to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Thank you.
Through the
All right.
chair,
Yes.
this is Planner Crode. I wanted to confirm what Mr. Spence had stated. We did investigate it, the cross-access easement and the reciprocal parking, and I am satisfied that they have met those requirements. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Back to the commission. Any outstanding questions or comments?
To the chair, Commissioner Martin.
Yes.
I just assume since the cross easement amendments have been found that they will be included as a copy so that there's no questions in the future for this location.
Yes, now that we've found them, they'll be part of our file. Thank you.
To the chair, Commissioner Culpepper. Well,
Yes.
I'm glad we got that situation resolved because as we had said in our previous meeting, there is a great need for a place like this in the city of Southfield for residents that like to dine out and have occasionally drink. My question is, if this is approved through the city council, what's your timeline for opening?
That's a good question, although I do know that the owner, Rosalind Reynolds, is ready to move immediately. Construction, I'm not sure how long construction would take, given the problems that we're having about supply chain issues right now with building
Understand?
materials. But we're hoping early 2022.
Good. Again, as I said previously, I'm 100% support of this because this is a venue that's has been vacant. Love the idea of the new landscaping to give that area of commons to me a vital look, and I wish you 100% success because I'm with this 100%. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, through the chair, Commissioner Huntington.
Yep, go ahead, Commissioner Huntington.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the design of this. I think Mr. Harvey did a good job in the design. I like the opening doors, which works well in these COVID times when weather permits. There was a restaurant previously that worked out fine. So I think this, fits in real good. I think it's something that the city really needs. So hopefully everything works out well. Everything looks good to me. So good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the commission? Hearing none, I'm in favor of this project as well. Be looking for a motion
If I may, sir, if I could at
or
least read the recommendation.
recommendation. Great
Yeah.
idea.
Great, thank you. So with regard to PSLU 21-0008, the Planning Department does recommend favorable recommendation of the special use request of Abraham Southfield Commons LLC to allow for a restaurant with bar to be located in a tenant space located at 29267 Southfield Road, Citral parcel 2411479060, the west side of Southfield Road between 12 Mile and Webster, Section 11 of the city, for the following reasons and conditions. Subject to approval of PASP 21-0050 by the city planner. Hours of operation shall be limited to 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Sunday. Retaining the current easement, cross-access, and parking agreements for the three properties, 2411-479-060, 2411-479-059, and 2411-479-067. The submitted special use with any conditions recommended by the Planning Department and the Planning Commission will be of such size and character that it will be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the B1 Neighborhood Business District. Location, size, intensity, and periods of operation for the proposed use is designed to eliminate any possible nuisance likely to emanate therefrom, which might be adverse to occupants of any nearby permitted use. The proposed use is in accord with the spirit and purpose of the chapter and is not inconsistent with or contrary to the objectives sought to be accomplished by this chapter and principles of sound planning. Proposed uses of such character and vehicular traffic generated will not have an adverse effect or be detrimental to the surrounding land uses or adjacent thoroughfares. Proposed uses of such character and intensity and arranged on the site so as to eliminate any adverse effects resulting from noise, dust, dirt, glare, odor, fumes. Proposed use will not be adverse to the promotion of the health, safety, and welfare of the community, and the proposed use is designed and operated so as to provide security and safety to employees and the general public. That concludes our report.
Thank you. Now we'll be looking for a motion.
This
To the
is
chair.
Commissioner Rob Willis.
Yes.
I'd move for favorable approval of I'm sorry, I lost the number for this proposal.
This is Geraldine Stevens again.
Mr.
I
Culpepper.
second the motion.
Okay, we got a favorable motion on PSLU 21-0008 by Commissioner Willis, supported by Commissioner Stevens Gunn. We'll have a roll call vote, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Huntington,
Support.
Mr. Martin,
Support.
Dr. Stevens Gunn,
Support.
Mr. Willis,
Support.
Mr. Culpepper,
Support.
and Mr. Griffith.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you have a favorable recommendation of PSLU 21-0008.
All right. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item, we have site plans, PSP 21-0008.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is the site plan review request of Mr. Hassan Jawad, representing Middle Point Investment Group LLC, for the construction of a Phase 1 site plan of the Overlay Development District to include mixed-use development on the property located at 26111 Evergreen Road. So the property is 8.18 acres. The zoning is ODD, and if you recall, the City Council did approve the Overlay Development District for this particular site last month. So we're moving forward now with the first phase of the site plan for this particular project. So again, what's before you this evening is a recommendation for the site plan for the Phase 1 of the Overlay Development District mixed use. This is an aerial of the property itself. The site itself is shown in red. Phase 1, however, it will be relegated to the east side of the site on the corner of Civic Center Drive and Evergreen Road. This is kind of the overview of the Overlay Development District should it be completely built out. Again, this was the ODD that was approved by City Council on September 27th. And this is the Phase 1 site plan. It includes a retail A of 2,250 square feet on the north side of the property, basically a single user with a drive-through. The building closer to the corner of Evergreen Road and Civic Center is an 8,900 square foot retail building with mixed use, also with a drive-through as well with an end cap. Included in Phase 1 is additional parking around two areas that would remain green for this particular portion, and also includes a driveway that comes off of Civic Center Drive that would actually lead to the property itself, either to Retail A or would wrap around and come down to Retail B. There's a rendering looking west from the Evergreen Road portion. This is looking east. And this is at the corner of Civic Center Drive and Evergreen Road. You'll note the plaza on the corner, as well as for some pretty significant landscaping and signage, including benches and trash receptacles. This is the standalone retail and the elevations for that. Floor plan, including covered outdoor seating. And then the multi-tenant, which is the building on the corner, and elevations of that. Floor plan as well, showing the number of units, along with a cafe in the open air cafe area in the middle. With that, I do know that Mr. Hassan Jawad is on the line, as well as Mr. Michael Gordon. Gentlemen, if you have anything further to add, now would be your opportunity for that.
Good evening. This is Hassan Jawad. members of the planning staff and planning commission, thank you for your time this evening. I think you guys are pretty familiar with the plan as it's presented tonight, since we just recently went through the ODD. As we did go through some of the renderings, you may have noticed some additional improvements that we have made with the landscaping and some of the elevations with the building fronting evergreen, including some of the height that we've added to that building. I will say that no matter how many times I see this plan, I get excited as we go through it. So I hope you guys are excited as we are to see this project break ground, and hopefully soon after we will be following with the secondary phase of this plan before springtime, and hopefully we'll be breaking ground in the spring with the first phase of the plan hopefully being completed towards the latter part of next year. But I will put it in your capable hands, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer any of them that you may have.
Hey, Hassan, if I could ask a question with regard to, I see public art on here. Has there been any determination as to what that might look like or be at this point?
Not yet. We have not made a decision on what we are going to specifically put in place of the public art quite yet.
Okay.
I just have a quick note to mention. Jeff, the first slide that you had shown of this phase 1 site plan is the most current one. And that includes some additional sidewalks along the north of the property line. I just wanted to make note of that because that was something that we had been asked to change. And it shows it in that first crop site plan that you had shown, but this is an older version. Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah,
so right here?
Actually right where that brick crosswalk is at the very top of the north-south running road, exactly. So that crosswalk connects to the existing city sidewalk, and we've added a sidewalk along the north part of the property just so that we can connect to that loop of Southfield sidewalks. And
Got it. Okay. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, as well as you're showing the crosswalk that goes across Evergreen Road.
Right. If you'd like, Jeff, if you want to show the rendering of the building fronting Evergreen out that had all the landscaping on it as well, I'll point something else out there to the Planning Commission. You'll notice it here, but there's the one that actually shows it from the corner. You'll notice there's a turret, kind of a higher elevation on the southern side of the building, correct? So we wanted to give a little bit of height and visibility to that building on the corner, as well as all the additional landscaping that you see there as well.
Okay, thank you. Open up to the commission for questions or comments.
Mr. Martin, I have a question. You mentioned public art. Where can you see the where the location for the public art would be on this view right now?
Yeah, Mr. Martin, if you take a look at the slide that just is up, the park area, which is would be like the northeast corner, right adjacent to the 2,250 square foot retail A, there's a note that public art in a potential location there.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, this is Mr. Culpepper.
Yes.
Jeff, would you put up the picture looking from Evergreen down Civic Center Drive, please? No, not that one, the other one. Nope. Yes. No.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. As I said, Hassan, I think you've always had your finger on the pulse of the city. And also that the great thing about this particular project is you're starting out on Evergreen, which will give people a good view of what's happening. And looking at that sitting area with the benches, the landscaping around it is going to generate a lot of conversation, period. Plus, it has a lot of optics. So again, I think this is a great project. Kudos on you for at least starting out along that evergreen road so people will see it and generate conversation as you continue to build out, just like the Northland project is. So I think this is a beautiful site plan. That site area has been vacant for so long, and having an establishment there like this, I think it's a city within in itself to me, and it definitely will add a lot of stability and credibility to the city. So great job. I think the site plan is beautiful. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any other commissioners have comments or questions? None. Well, we've all seen this many times. I think it continues to get refined and improved. And, you know, I do like the taller element you put on the corner. I think it looks good. I think it's all moving in the right direction, and excited to see this start happening. And hopefully the future phases all follow right as quickly as possible and the whole site gets built out. That's going to be the most exciting part.
Well, I'd like to give kudos to both the planning department and the commission. We listen to your feedback, and we do our best to incorporate your thoughts and ideas and input into the plan. And Planner Crowd has been very involved in providing his feedback and providing his vision, and fortunately for us, it's in line with what we want to see there as well. So, as I said, we're excited. We're excited to move forward and appreciate everybody's assistance and input on this project.
So saying that through the chair, you want to point out where the rooftop seating is?
Phase two. Phase two.
Just a little bigger steel columns, maybe some bigger foundations. You can always add a second floor. As it's coming out of the ground, it'll attract everybody.
I will say something in not specific to this project. I was touring the site this week with a group who's interested in having a presence, and I gave a little tour of the city center, and a number of them had not been in the Southfield City Center in quite some time, and the feedback that I got was extremely positive, and surprised at what has transpired, over the past years of all the things that have happened. And then tonight I'm sitting here and I get the email from Terry regarding the tapestry of the community, and we've just got, we went from a city center that was quiet and not much of anything was going on, or than what we were having difficulty always finding things to write about or to push and promote. And there's been so many great things that have been done, and so many great things that are coming. That's why I say we're really, really excited to be part of it, and really appreciate all the effort that has been put forth by staff in really creating a true city center.
Terry, do you have anything further? Or if not, we'll go look for the planner's recommendation.
Yeah, I think you've heard me weigh in on this project, and I'm very excited about it. And I believe this is going to be the linchpin for our main and everything else that we've done. So can't wait to have them break ground and then have a ribbon cutting.
So, Mr. Chairman, if you're ready, I can read a recommendation.
Yes, I think we're ready, Jeff. Thank you.
Okay. With regard to PSP 21-0008, the site plan review request of Hassan Jawad, representing Middle Point Investment Group for the construction of Phase 1 site plan of the Overlay Development District. The Planning Department does recommend favorable consideration for the construction of Phase 1 for mixed-use development in accordance with the Middle Point ODD Master Development Plan and Development Agreement, property located 26111 Evergreen Road, federal parcels 2422, 277-003-004 and -005 on the northwest corner of Civic Center Drive and Evergreen Road for the following reasons and conditions. It is subject to PZR ODD 21-0002 ODD agreement approved by City Council on September 27th, 2021. Landscaping must be installed in accordance with the approved landscape plan prior to issuance of any certificate of occupancy, unless the season of the year does not permit installation. In that instance, a bond must be submitted to the building department to cover the cost of installation, and a temporary certificate of occupancy shall be given. Upon completion of landscaping and approval of the site plan by the planning department, the bond will be returned and final certificate of occupancy shall be given. Exterior lighting will be shielded to prevent spillage of glare onto adjacent properties and shall be installed in accordance with the photometric lighting plan. Petitioners provide a sprinkler system for all landscape areas to encourage preservation of plant material. Petitioners execute a perpetual maintenance agreement for the landscape and parking areas on site, which includes the maintenance of any stormwater detention system. Petitioners implement the recommendations made by the Southfield Police Department's Crime Prevention Bureau regarding site security. Approval of the site plan and building elevations represented herein does not constitute nor guarantee approval for signage. Separate approval and sign permits must be obtained from the building department for any proposed sign. Bike rack shall be installed in accordance with Article 4, Section 5.29, Paragraph 12. The site shall be designed and developed to contain public works of art in accordance with Section 5.2-5 Public Art in Article 4 of the general requirements of the zoning ordinance. And the buildings are to be constructed in accordance with submitted elevations. That concludes this report.
Thank you. I'll be looking for a motion.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Culpepper,
Yes.
I recommend favorable adoption for PSP 21-0008.
This is Commissioner.
Support Commissioner Huntington.
All right. We've got a favorable recommendation by Commissioner Culpepper and Commissioner Huntington with the support. We have a roll call vote, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Martin,
Support.
Dr. Stevens-Gunn,
Support.
Mr. Willis,
Support.
Mr. Culpepper,
Support.
Mr. Huntington,
Support.
and Mr. Griffiths.
Support.
Mr. Chairman, you have a favorable recommendation for PSP 21-0008.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
You're
Good luck.
welcome. Great job, my man. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Next, we have the approval of the minutes, September 1st, 8th, and 22nd.
Commissioner Martin, I
Yes.
recommend approval of the minutes for September 1st, 8th, and 22nd.
This is Commissioner Rob Willis. I support all three minutes.
Okay. Favorable recommendation on the minutes by Commissioner Martin, supported by Commissioner Willis. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, sir. Dr. Stevens-Gunn,
Support.
Mr. Willis,
Support.
Mr. Culpepper,
Support.
Mr. Huntington,
Support.
Mr. Martin,
Support.
and Mr. Griffiths.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you do have approval of your 3 sets of minutes this evening.
Right. Next, we have the public comment portion of the meeting.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For any public who is currently listening or watching on cable, this is the time in the meeting in which you have an opportunity to share comments with the Planning Commission. You are limited to 3 minutes. There's a WebEx call-in number and an access code. Those are shown at the bottom of the slide here. The telephone number 1-415-655-0001. And then when prompted, put in the access code 2344-117-1137. That's followed by 2 pound signs, and then that would get you into the meeting. Mr. Chairman, as you're aware, there's a little bit of a delay between this live presentation and what is on cable and shown on the city's website. So we'll wait a minute or so here to see if we have anyone who would like to make a public comment. Currently, we don't have anyone on the line, but we'll give it about a minute or so, and then I will return to you and let you know if we have anyone who would like to speak. And Mr. Chairman, it does not appear that we have anyone on the line this evening for public comment.
Okay, I'll close the public comment area of the meeting. Next, do we have any miscellaneous items?
The only thing that I have, sir, that your next meeting will be on November 10th instead of next week, November 3rd. We do have 2 items coming before you. One of them was kind of a late addition, so we decided that we would bring them to the second study meeting instead of the first one. So again, your next meeting of the Planning Commission would be your study meeting of November 10th. And next week's meeting, the 3rd, would be canceled.
Okay, excellent.
Through the chair,
Yes.
Leonard Crowd, I have 3 items I'd like to mention briefly.
Okay.
Today, I presented City Center Trail and Placemaking at the Michigan Association of Planning State Conference. And this session was well received. I believe there was approximately 80 people that participated, and out of 400 that signed up, there was multiple sessions going on at the same time, but each session will be recorded so that anybody that registered can watch it at their convenience. Secondly, I know a few of the commissioners participated in Tapestry of Community, our first community build projects yesterday. I sent some progress photos around. That's pretty exciting. They're making progress. I think they're mostly finished with the second panel today. They have some cutting and some infill to do, and then they'll be back out either tomorrow or soon to work on the third panel. And last but not least, please join me in congratulating Jeff for 30 years of service with the city of Southfield. He's been dedicated, professional, planner, has worked his way up the ranks. And I believe tomorrow is his anniversary, so I wanted to publicly acknowledge him and thank him. for all his
Congratulations,
hard
Bill.
work.
Congratulations, Mr.
There you
Spence.
go, Jeff.
Yeah, congratulations.
Good job, Jeff.
Yeah, boy, good job. Great job.
Great job.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Excellent job. Down through the years.
Yeah. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate that. That was not expected. So Terry, especially to you, I thank you very much for the acknowledgement of that. Yeah, it's been 30 years, and like a lot of you, I mean, you've seen a lot of changes in the city, and am just really proud to be a part of the things that have been going on here. Specifically, I think over the last 10 years under Terry's direction, I think I've seen more things happen over the last 10 years in the city than I had the previous 20. And I think that's an acknowledgement not only to Terry's leadership, but also to you guys as planning commissioners and to the city council as well. It's been very exciting for me to not only see something on paper, but to see it come to life on an actual site. And I'm looking forward to what Northland brings. I'm looking forward to what happens across the street. Again, these are properties that have been, going downhill, if I can put it that way, instead of up. And it is just exciting for me to see these particular properties taking on new life. And I'm just thankful to the city for providing the opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Is that all, Terry?
Yeah, unless you guys wanted to make any other comments or share anything about the art project as well.
Yes, I was able to show up for the last few minutes yesterday, place a tile. My wife and I, that was very cool. And it's really nice to see it up close and personal. There's a lot of interesting colors and vibrancy, and there's a lot going on with those art pieces. So it's one of those things that I think it's going to look cool driving by. But best viewed probably if you're up walking and take some time to reflect on it. But pretty fun to see all that come together on a terribly cold and windy day. But it's still going to be there for a long time. So I think that's going to be exciting.
If you're out and about and you see the artist working with his crew, we were grabbing some people that walked by today and they got to put a piece on. And I asked, which was kind of cool, the piece that represents Red Pole Park, I was able to put that on the second panel late this afternoon after my presentation. So I'll always remember that. That was pretty cool. That's all I have. Thank you.
Great.
Here, I'd like to mention one item.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know a lot of us have been struggling with power problems, and DTE is going to have a presentation going on at Parks and Rec in the Shed 1, starting at 4:30. I think it's 4 to 6:30, 4:30 to 6 tomorrow. If people have any questions or want to hear what they're presenting as what the improvements are going to be and that type of information. Also, I'd like to say I can see a lot of changes in Southfield. When you look at Morelli at the corner of Losser and Northwestern Highway, when you go down, you see Lawrence Tech and the murals going up, the new hotels across at Northwestern and Civic Center Drive, the expansion going on in the Lofts, and now the development at Evergreen and Civic Center Drive. We are polishing up the city of Southfield. We're getting ready to make it a real gem. And I think this commission is doing a lot. And I think Terry's leadership is doing a lot for that. And I just want to say, I'm happy to be part of the commission.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Any other comments? All right. Seeing none, I'll see you in a couple weeks at the next meeting. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.